It was the beginning of the end for the Axis powers in World War II. 160,000 Allied troops storming the beaches of Nazi-occupied France at Normandy. Now, 70 years later, the world looks back.
Men and women of the United States, this is a momentous hour in world history. This is the invasion of Hitler's Europe, the 0 hour of the Second Front.
On the evening of June 5th, the harbor came alive. This was it. We would hit the beach the next morning at 6:30 a.m. June 6, 1944, to be called D-Day.
The American leader, General Dwight D. Eisenhower.
The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
Eventually, it was a full victory for the Allied forces, but not without losses along the way. D-Day alone saw around 9,000 Allied casualties. And the casualties could have been worse. As a part of a massive counterintelligence operation, the Allies successfully convinced the Nazis they'd try to invade at Calais, where the English Channel was more narrow. Amassing more Nazi forces in the wrong spot was a crucial part of the Allied strategy. And as Business Insider reports, General Eisenhower had a backup plan should the offensive have gone wrong. A draft of a letter reportedly found in his pocket weeks after the invasion at Normandy and meant to be a potential press release read in part, "Our landings have failed to gain a satisfactory foothold, and I have withdrawn the troops. The troops, the air, and the Navy did all that bravery and devotion to duty could do. If any blame or fault attaches to the attempt, it is mine alone." Thankfully, that address was never made, and those troops did not fail. Now, nearly 3/4 of a century since that fateful day, those who are still with us recall the fighting.
Well, it was like opening the door and stepping into hell. And terrific, and the screams and the people dying. They were dying all over the beach.
By the time it dropped and I went in, there was a lot of bodies floating in front of us, and we was in water about waist deep. There's a lot of my men that done a lot more than I did.
As the Telegraph reports, some veterans, including British paratrooper Jock Hutton, are commemorating the event by reliving it, parachuting into the same field they did 70 years ago. Of course, D-Day has been remembered in pop culture as well. Films like Saving Private Ryan and the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers have depicted the bloody events. Finally, you might be wondering what that D in D-Day actually stands for. And unlike the V in victory, you might be surprised to find the answer is nothing. The UK's D-Day Museum writes, "The D does not stand for deliverance, doom, debarkation, or similar words. In fact, it does not stand for anything. The D is derived from the word day. D-Day means the day on which a military operation begins." As The Guardian reports, world leaders including President Barack Obama, Russian President Vladimir Putin, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel will join World War II veterans to commemorate D-Day at Normandy Friday. For Newsy, I'm Christian Bryant.